This is News 3 Now at 6.
Thanks for joining us. We have team coverage tonight on how the coronavirus is affecting Wisconsin's economy. Amanda Quintana shares how hard hit the tourism industry is now.
But first, we go to Amy Reed, live at the state capitol with the latest on today's extraordinary session. Amy?
Do you have a regular iPhone jack or jack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, Amy obviously having some issues there. She's covering the extraordinary session at the state capitol where representatives were able to gather, many of them coming in via Skype to vote. And in the end, all but 2 lawmakers voted to approve a bill with more than 50 provisions in it. That bill waives the 1-week waiting period for unemployment benefits and allows the state access to federal response money. It also mandates no co-pays for coronavirus testing and sets aside $75 million for the Joint Finance Committee to hand out as needed later. Lawmakers don't expect this to be the end. Both Democrats and Republicans called for bipartisanship as the response continues.
I ask all of us to check our own ideology and our own barriers to understand that not just today, but in the future, we're going to need to act and probably go beyond those things.
I think that's what a leader does. A leader says we might not always agree, but we have to listen to the best ideas and sift through those.
Democrats tried to add an amendment on the floor that would remove voter ID requirements and move the remainder of elections in this calendar year to vote by mail. That was immediately tabled, though it'll likely come up again. Democrats in Madison were already responding moments after the coronavirus response bill that a lot more work needed to be done. The Senate's scheduled to take up this bill tomorrow. Assuming it passes, it will then go to the governor. He has not yet indicated what he will do. Meanwhile, with many states under stay-at-home orders, Wisconsin isn't getting the visitors that it's used to, and that means less money is being spent all across the state. Amanda Quintana is here with how the pandemic is affecting the state's tourism industry. Amanda?
Yes, this is all hitting the tourism industry really hard, especially the nearly 200,000 jobs supported by tourism. In 2018, Wisconsin saw an economic impact of $21.6 billion from tourism. Now, the U.S. Travel Association is tracking how much money states are missing out on during the pandemic, showing in 4 weeks from March 8th to March 4th, Wisconsin saw a $631 million reduction compared to those same 4 weeks last year. That's about an 80% reduction each week.
What we anticipated is going to be a slow, long recovery. But that said, Wisconsin is actually well poised to be able to welcome people back when it is safe to do so because we have such an excellent offering in outdoor recreation.
Meany says studies show people are canceling their long trips and leaning more towards road trips. This is good news for Wisconsin since it relies heavily on the drive-in market. Meany says thankfully many of the major events like Summerfest and the DNC have been postponed and not canceled. So hopefully we'll see some of that money just earned later in the year, but she's not sure that will make up for all the money that we're losing right now.
You get the sense a lot of people are saving up though and looking forward to trips at some point in the near future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Amanda, thank you.
State health officials say safer at home is working. DHS posted a graphic showing how staying home plus practicing social distancing and good hygiene have helped slow the spread of coronavirus in the state. Getting a look at the latest COVID-19 numbers in Wisconsin, 173 people have now died of the disease here, with more than 3,600 contracting it. There is some good news. DHS says back in early March, the number of infections were doubling every 3.4 days. Now, over the past 2 weeks, it's doubling about every 12 days. Well, state officials are rescinding a memo that called for the end of window visits at assisted living facilities. The Wisconsin Board of Aging and Long-Term Care issued the change in a memo last night aimed to stop family members from having contact like kissing through a screen or hugging through an open window. But this morning, the window visit restriction was overturned. A new memo says Wisconsinites who want to connect with families in care facilities should do so over video chat, phone calls, or social media whenever possible. Some exceptions may be made for end-of-life situations.
UW Hospital today giving credit to what it is calling unsung heroes of the pandemic, environmental service workers. The hospital says these workers have been a vital part of the frontline healthcare team. They're in charge of cleaning and disinfecting all isolation rooms at the hospital. Part of the process includes using a machine called TrueD TrueD, which uses UV light to kill bacteria and viruses.
The TrueD is a second step, so the most important obviously is our tech that's in the room cleaning all those high-touch surfaces, and then the UV is put in there after, and it's ran anywhere from 12 minutes to about 40 minutes depending on the size of the room.
In addition to cleaning isolation rooms, environmental service workers also clean and disinfect elevators, nurses' stations, handrails, floors, lobby surfaces, restrooms, and stairwells multiple times a day to ensure that the hospital is clean for everyone.
Tonight, we are getting a better picture of where coronavirus cases have been reported in Rock County after the county released a map detailing cases by zip code. But as Rock County reporter Adam Duxter explains, first responders say they still need more information.
Yeah, Charlotte, that change comes after the Janesville City Council passed a resolution last night asking for more information from the county. Right now, only 911 responders have the exact specifics as to where coronavirus cases have been confirmed within the county by address, and they share those with first responders on a need-to-know basis. But the responders argue they need more information than that. As coronavirus continues to spread in Rock County, Janesville Fire Chief Ernie Rhodes says he needs more information from health officials to keep his staff safe.
That's when I started reaching out as far as, hey, I need this critical information to make sure our responders, our city employees, and our citizens in our community are safe. And that's when we were told, we cannot share that information.
The specific information Rhodes says he needs is addresses of confirmed cases. He says that information wouldn't be made available to the public, but would help his staff prepare, as well as conserve scarce PPE.
I know of other agencies and other fire departments that are getting actual addresses, and then also, there are instances too where they're not getting any information.
Up until last night, the county health department has declined to share that information, citing health and privacy laws. During last night's city council meeting, a resolution passed putting even more pressure on the county to release that data, either by block number or voting precinct.
It allows us to track those areas that are hotspots within the community. When we have a sense for where a hotspot in the community is, we can do things such as community-based education.
Shortly after that, public health officials released this map detailing the confirmed cases by zip code within the county. And while Rhodes says it's a start, he says more information is necessary to keep first responders safe, although he's unsure if that information will ever be released. Now, we did contact the Rock County Public Health Department for their perspective on this story, but we did not hear back.
All right, Adam, thank you. Let's check your first warn forecast. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, we've had some scattered snow showers and flurries all afternoon across southern Wisconsin. You can see those on Doppler track. They are rotating on through, but they should start falling apart as we head toward sunset and as the conditions start to cool down a little bit more than they already are. But you can see them still scattered across southern Wisconsin. Temperatures right now are right around freezing, or in the case of Madison, a little bit below. We're at 31, even a few places in the upper 20s, while Janesville is still at 36 degrees. But wind chills right now make it feel like it's in the upper teens and lower 20s. By tomorrow morning, skies will clear out after the flurries end. Look for low temperatures to drop in the lower 20s. Highs tomorrow back in the upper 30s with a slight chance for an afternoon rain or snow shower or flurry. But good news, we've got warmer weather on the way for the end of the week. I'll have details on weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. After winning re-election to the Madison School Board yesterday, Nikki Vandermeulen is announcing she is running for state assembly. If elected, she would be the first legislator in the country who is known to have autism. Vandermeulen is running for the seat left vacant by Democratic Representative Chris Taylor, who announced last month she will not be seeking re-election. 18-year-old Max Prestigiacomo, a UW-Madison freshman student, will now serve on the Madison Common Council after being elected to the District 8 seat last night. He says that makes him the youngest elected official in the country, and he hopes to inspire other young people to stand up and lead their communities. A release from his campaign says he hopes to be the most progressive alder at the table. He ran unopposed for that seat. Turnout for the spring election was the highest it's been since 2016. That's according to early reports from the State Elections Commission. It was also the third highest turnout in spring elections in more than a decade. Right now, the unofficial turnout, 34.3%. In spring of 2012, when President Obama ran for re-election and Republicans were choosing a nominee, turnout was at 26%. In spring of 2016, when both parties were choosing their presidential nominees, turnout was at about 47%.
New at 6, the Madison Metropolitan School District is providing an update about their search for a new superintendent. You may remember last week, Dr. Matthew Gutierrez rescinded his acceptance of the position, saying he couldn't leave his current school district during the COVID-19 pandemic. In a virtual meeting today, Board President Gloria Reyes and Interim Superintendent Dr. Jane Belmore said they will reopen the search in May, and interviews will be conducted in June. The other two finalists from the superintendent search, Dr. Marguerite Vanden Weingard and Dr. Eric Thomas, will have the opportunity to reapply. Tomorrow afternoon, the district will hold another virtual news conference about how online learning is going and how students will be graded. They will also address plans for graduation and summer school. We will provide updates on News 3 Now. A local chef is doing something good to help reach Dane feed members of their Head Start program. Normally, children who are 6 years old and under get meals and snacks each day through the Head Start program. But now that they are home, that is not the case. Chef Dave Heidi, owner of Liliana's in Fitchburg and Charlie's on Main in Oregon, is working on packing up meals to feed those children and their families. Volunteers will deliver the meals to Head Start locations across Dane County. The program is part of a new restaurant he's opening, Little John's, which will be pay what you can using excess food from grocery stores.
That was one of the big worries we had, and for the whole board of Reach Dane, was how do we get these kids food that they need desperately right now, and for their families, how do we get them something to be able to eat? And so that was kind of the whole idea of this program, was instead of trying to focus on just the traditional breakfast and lunch, really something that would be hearty enough that although this is 3 meals for kids, there's definitely a little bit extra that if someone needed something, they can still grab a bite.
Reach Dane was able to fund the first 3 weeks of the program, but the hope is to keep the meals going for 3 additional weeks. If you were able to make a donation for the meals, we have information on how to do that on channel3000.com.
Still to come at 6, farmers continue to struggle throughout the pandemic. We have an update on the number of bankruptcy filings that are coming in. That story and more just ahead. Stay with us.
In this challenging time, Wisconsin's dairy farmers remain committed to your well-being.
We're still in the barns every day, producing real, nutritious milk for your table, and products like cheese, yogurt, butter, ice cream, and more.
We're all in this together, and our passion for feeding Wisconsin's communities is stronger than ever.
Only your locally owned Cub Cadet dealer has genuine parts, accessories, trained service technicians, and the widest selection of innovative Cub Cadet products. We're here for you whenever you need us, with expert service and support to keep your equipment running at peak performance for years to come. Take advantage of exceptional financing at your local Cub Cadet dealer today. To find the dealer near you, visit CubCadetDealers.com.
The way you get through hard times is to hold strong to your values. At Group Health Cooperative, our common values have sustained us for over 4 decades. Now is no different. We are here, in our clinics, but we want you to be safer at home. That's why GHC has more ways for you to get care anywhere, anytime, day or night. Be seen, be safe, be home. We will get through this together, and we will all get better together.
Stores across the country are putting aisle directions in place to help meet social distancing guidelines. And Metcalfe's is following suit at its Wisconsin locations. Here in Madison, the employees put up signs to help keep shoppers away from one another while they are getting the items that they need.
We have our aisles, one-way aisles, so you'll see signs that say one way and then do not enter on aisles. We have stickers on the floor that throughout the store that show the number 6 foot to help remind people about 6 foot distancing.
Metcalf's is also limiting store capacity to 150 shoppers at a time.
The economic effects of the coronavirus appear to be pushing more farmers into bankruptcy. Court records show that 36 farmers have filed Chapter 12 bankruptcy since the first of the year. In 2019, there were 57 similar filings for the entire year. Dairy farmers were already dealing with depressed milk prices before COVID-19 shut down restaurants, schools, and other markets for dairy products. Corn producers have also felt the sting through a reduced demand for the fuel additive ethanol as fewer people are on our roads. A first warn traffic note for any essential workers who are still commuting. Lanes on both sides of the Beltline at I-3990 will close overnight throughout the week. That's for construction. The DOT says some interchange ramps will also be affected as crews install new pipe culverts under those roadways. From 7 p.m. tomorrow night until 5 a.m. Thursday, these are the ramps that'll be closed. All lanes of the eastbound Beltline at I-3990, I-3990 southbound and northbound ramps to the Beltline. From 7 p.m. Thursday to 5 a.m. Friday, closures include all westbound Beltline lanes at the interchange there with the interstate and the Beltline westbound to I-3990 southbound. Coming up in sports, a Wisconsin linebacker projected to be a popular pick in the NFL draft next week. There's a bit of a blip with his drug test. Sports director Zach Hanley will have an update. That's coming up.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements. Call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
Social distancing and family quarantines are a jarring reality for kids. It's a big adjustment, so it's important that we adults do what we can to help them navigate this new normal. Encourage your kids to ask questions and give them honest, age-appropriate answers. Show them things that they can do to regain some control. And above all, reassure them that their safety is your top priority.
Now more than ever, SSM Health and News 3 Now encourage you to take time for kids.
Coming together makes us stronger, and Ford is built to lend a hand. Contact your Ford dealer, an essential part of your community, to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. After all, you have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you. Find out more at Ford.com. Right now, qualified buyers can get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 3 months deferred payments on select 2020 Ford models.
Imagine facing Wisconsin's bitter cold winter without a warm home, or the blistering heat of summer without power, then having to make the tough choice between eating or meeting other basic survival needs. Unfortunately, over 200,000 of our neighbors in need will face this difficult decision with no place else to turn, including those who are now unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. Keep a neighbor in crisis safely in their home during these difficult times by supporting and donating to the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund today.
Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Comfortable with the innovative MyRide suspension system and high-back suspension seats. Powerful with commercial-grade engines. Heavy-duty, built to tackle tough terrain while providing Toro's professional quality of cut. Versatile, so you can get more done on or off the mower. Toro's Time Cutter HD and Titan HD zero-turn mowers. Count on it.
Power Centers of Madison. Visit powercentersofmadison.com.
Wells Asphalt Paving, expert paving for over 40 years. Now offering $250 off your asphalt paving project. For residential and commercial, from new construction to replacements. Call today and save at Wells Asphalt Paving.
Well, even though we've got some snow showers and flurries out there, this is Tornado and Severe Weather Awareness Week around Wisconsin. Tonight we're talking about lightning and some interesting things about lightning. On the average, about 47 people die per year across the United States in lightning-related fatalities. Now, last year was actually a pretty good year by those standards. Only 20 U.S. fatalities, none of those in Wisconsin. However, many people who are struck by lightning have permanent injuries. They lose their hearing or they have some physical ailment that stays with them for the rest of their life because of the effects of the heat from the lightning bolt as well as the electricity. And another thing too, lightning can strike 10 miles, sometimes even more, away from areas where it's raining. So just because it's not raining where you are doesn't mean that you can't be struck by lightning. In fact, that's where a lot of the lightning fatalities happen that way, because people think they're safe and they're really not. Three things you need to know in our forecast. Still have some flurries or some light snow showers in the forecast again for tomorrow, with temperatures staying in the upper 30s. But dry weather returns for Thursday and Friday, along with temperatures back in the mid to upper 40s. And then as we head toward the weekend, look for high temperatures near 60 on Saturday and in the upper 50s on Sunday. Here are those light snow showers and flurries. They're starting to wind down a little bit. We're seeing a little more spacing between them. And as we get past the hours of sunset, we'll see that those will fall apart pretty quickly like they did last night. Still a lot of snow on the ground up to the north from southern Minnesota through northern and central Wisconsin and the upper peninsula of Michigan. And you can see the effect that's having on temperatures. Where there's snow cover, temperatures are mainly in the 20s. Here in southern Wisconsin, at least with the bare ground, we're getting temperatures in the lower 30s. But on Weather Track, our upper level winds are still right out of central Canada, so that's continuing to bring down very cold air. That'll be with us for a while. It's shifted the main storm track well to our south and to our east, but notice the jet stream bulging up to the north. That means milder weather along the west coast, but that's usually a pretty stable pattern because our upper level winds coming in from the north and northwest means that even when we do get precipitation, there's not a lot of it because there's not a lot of moisture. So high pressure, which is actually extending from northern Arkansas back up into central Canada, will keep our weather cold for the time being. But as we check out those snow showers and flurries again, they're going to fall apart pretty quickly according to future tracks. So look for clear skies overnight. That will allow temperatures to drop in the lower 20s. Highs tomorrow back in the upper 30s. A slight chance for a snow shower or flurry in the afternoon. Then tomorrow night we'll clear out again with low temperatures in the middle 20s and look for partly sunny skies on Thursday. Not looking for any snow showers or flurries. High temperatures will be at least back up into the middle 40s. So for tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 39 degrees, about the same as today. It'll be cold. There'll still be a chance for a snow shower or flurry in the afternoon, but dry weather returns for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. By Saturday, temperatures will be up around 60 degrees. Sunday, a slight chance for a shower. Then you can see those temperatures staying relatively mild with highs mainly in the 60s for next week. Maybe a shower or thunderstorm chance about Wednesday afternoon.
And coming up in sports, Zach Bond's sample diluted at the combine. What it means for the Badger linebacker in the draft. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
No one goes all in on made-from-scratch freshness like Papa Murphy's. Because when you go all in, people notice. This game day, go all in with the new Triple Pep for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
For almost 50 years, we've built trust within our communities by making customer delight our top priority. That trust allows us to improve lives one home at a time. During this challenging time, we want to make sure your needs are being met without stress by offering 2-for-1 windows with no interest and no payments for 1 year. So go ahead, visit us online, or call now from the comfort of home.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Americans have been cutting the lawn for hundreds of years, but with TurfBot, the future of mowing is now. Our quiet, all-electric robotic mowers work around the clock to keep your lawn trimmed 24/7. That means less time spent mowing and more time spent enjoying. Equipped with LED headlights, auto-stop sensors, and anti-theft GPS devices, our mowers run safely with no supervision. Come home to a freshly mowed lawn every day for as little as $30 a week. Call today and get free installation when you sign up. TurfBot, on the cutting edge.
Everything you care about is in this house. Things you just can't afford to lose. And that is why we exist.
Getting meals to go from Hy-Vee is even easier with the new Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go website and curbside pickup. Just order delicious meals online and get no contact pickup. Choose from Chinese, sushi, fried chicken, lasagna, enchiladas, burgers, pizza, many of your favorite sides, and more. Just order online at Hy-Vee.com/mealtime. Then park in a designated mealtime spot and we'll bring your order out. Feed your family for less and order Hy-Vee Mealtime to Go today.
Wednesday morning, Hattie's helping us look forward to a little bit of a warm-up at the end of the week.
And we'll help you avoid any extra trips to the store by telling you which foods last the longest. Wake up with us starting at 4:30 tomorrow.
Wisconsin linebacker Zach Bond has been projected to be a late first-round, early second-round pick in next week's NFL draft. But that could change. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Bond had a diluted sample at the NFL Combine, which means there was too much water in his test to see if he was taking anything he wasn't supposed to. Former Badger blamed it on drinking too much water for his weigh-in. The good news for Bond, under the league's new CBA, this will not count as a strike against him. Mel Kiper not shying away from Bond. ESPN's NFL analyst released his mock draft 4.0 and has the Brown Deer native going 23rd overall to the Patriots. Bond sits on Kiper's big board as the third best linebacker in the draft. Badger teammate Jonathan Taylor projected to go in the second round, 45th overall to the Buccaneers. Normally during April, OTAs are kicking off around the NFL. This time of year is no different, except the OTAs will be virtual and they can start as early as next week. So instead of face-to-face meetings, teams will be doing it via Skype. Some recruiting news. Three-star running back out of Tennessee, Antoine Roberts, has committed to the Badgers. Last season as a junior, he rushed for over 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns in just 8 games. Roberts chose Wisconsin over a handful of programs, including Kentucky, Memphis, and Cincinnati. He's the third running back committed in UW's 2021 class. The upcoming men's basketball season seems like it's years away, but it's never too early to start thinking about next season, and the Badgers should be pretty good. William Hill agrees. The sportsbook released their odds for next year's national champion, and Greg Gard's squad sits 30-1. The favorites are the usuals: Gonzaga, Duke, Kentucky, and Kansas, all with 10-1 odds. Marquette is 200-1, and you could say Brad Davison feels pretty confident about next season.
When the time comes and we get to put the jersey back on, we get to be back with each other, you know, we hit the ground running. You know, everyone's put in the same situation. So, you know, how can you maximize it? How can you be prepared? You know, we will be. So, yeah, definitely a lot of hype and excitement, but that's for us too. We don't really care what the outside says or where they have us. You know, we're confident.
But those odds are just for entertainment purposes only.
Of course. They don't endorse. We don't endorse gambling.
No.
Brad's always got a little bit of confidence in it. He's not shy about that. Gary Canalti, final check of the forecast.
Still got some snow showers and flurries out there. You can see that on Doppler track. They are starting to wind down to our north and west. And as we get closer to sunset, they should start to diminish even further. But you can see they're still out there. You're going to run into them at least for the next couple of hours. Temperatures are on the chilly side. 31 in Madison, 36 Janesville, already down to 29 in the Dells, and you factor in the winds. We're seeing wind chills right now, generally in the lower 20s, a few places like Wautoma in the upper teens. By tomorrow morning, we'll be down to around 23 degrees with mostly clear skies. Fairly cloudy skies tomorrow, maybe a snow shower flurry chance in the afternoon. Probably not even as widespread as what we're seeing today. Highs upper 30s, but then back to the middle 40s Thursday, upper 40s Friday. Upper 50s for the weekend, just a slight chance of a shower on Sunday, and then some 60s next week with a shower or thunderstorm chance about Wednesday afternoon of next week.
All right, got to get those temperatures up, and Gary can stop wearing that mask at the grocery store. Thank you, Gary. Thanks for joining us for News for Now at 6. We'll be back at 10 with the very latest. Take care.